G'day guys, Grant Jamison here, and today I want to chat to you about freelancing. I love being a freelancer. I've been doing it for 3 years now, but there have been a lot of ups and downs. You know, I've been paid to travel overseas and film in Asia. I've met a bunch of amazing people. I've got a great bunch of amazing clients that I love working with, but it hasn't always been easy. You know, there's been loneliness, especially. Sometimes it's hard to find work. You don't know where to go. You can struggle sometimes. You know, you have to work through weekends often, but at the end of the day, I love what I do. And so I'm just making this little video just to run you through what it's like being a freelancer and hopefully give you some tips in helping you decide if you want to take the plunge into becoming a freelancer. So the first thing I want to chat to you about is the idea that you are your brand at all times, even when you're not on the clock. This means that what you post on social media, how you work with others, what you're doing hanging out with friends, how you email people, what you're like on the phone, all of that represents your brand and helps clients decide whether they want to work with you. It's kind of annoying, but it is that blend of personal and business, and they kind of go into one. So just be aware of what you're saying and just think, is this how I want my business to be represented? That kind of leads me into my next point, in that you'll have to probably work irregular hours often. You know, you might find yourself working over weekends, nights, mornings, just kind of weird hours just to get that job done or whatever needs to happen, because unlike working 9 to 5, it's kind of your baby, and when you're really passionate about something, it doesn't really feel that bad when you have to work over the weekend because you enjoy what you're doing. And if you really need a break, you can just take a day off and just say to clients, you know, sorry, I'm busy that day, or whatever you need to do. But at the end of the day, you'll find you do need to work over weekends sometimes, into nights, whatever it takes to get the job done. That's just part of being a freelancer, and it's kind of something you just have to embrace. But if you enjoy what you're doing, it won't be a big deal. Okay, the next one has to do with money, and this is quite a common concern when it comes to freelancing, and that's taxes and keeping track of your expenses. I use a program called Rounded. I take a photo of the receipt of what I've just purchased, enter in the information, and then at the end of the financial year, I can go through all of my expenses, send them off to my accountant, and then their taxable write-offs or whatever it is, business write-offs. The other thing you can do is keep a separate card that's just for business expenses. You know, when you're purchasing something related to your business, computers, whatever it is, fuel, you just tap that, you just use the business card for those business expenses, keep a separate card for personal expenses, and then that makes it really easy just to clarify what's actually business and what's personal. Because when you're a freelancer and it's coming out of your own pocket, it can be quite tricky to track, oh, that was a business expense, that was a personal expense. So 2 cards would be my tip there. And just remember to take photos of receipts and try and see if you can use a software that will track them for you. That's really helped. One of the other things that many people don't think about when they're going freelance is the idea that you'll have to spend a lot of time alone, and you'll need to get comfortable with that. It can be quite challenging going from an office full of people that you like and you work alongside and you can collaborate with, to suddenly going to potentially your home office or your bedroom or somewhere like that where it's just you all day. There's not really anyone to just chat ideas off, bounce ideas with. You know, it's kind of just you in front of a computer, and then if you want to go out for Friday drinks at the end of the week, well, there's no one really to do that. So to combat that, I have got a few networking groups. I've got a bunch of other freelance buddies that we catch up from time to time, just have a chat, bounce ideas off, go over what we're working on, and then people can kind of chip in and maybe help you out with some suggestions, or even just have a laugh. You will need to network. Becoming a freelancer means you're quite isolated, so you'll need to get out there and meet new people. You can use sites like meetup.com to find local networking events in your area, and then you can just go there and don't go with the intention of selling. Go there with the intention of learning from other people, of trying to genuinely help people and become an active member of your community. These groups have, you know, heaps of people with different knowledge, different skills that you can sort of bounce ideas off and potentially learn from their mistakes, and you can share your own things that you've learnt along the way. So it's important to become a consistent member of a networking group. Now, this might seem kind of obvious on the surface, but you don't get sick and annual leave as a freelancer. So you need to charge more for it. This just might mean, in your day rate or however you're charging for clients, you might just add in a little bit extra as a sort of lump sum to cover that, because they're not going to pay for you to take 2 weeks off to go to Hawaii. Now this one I've touched on before, but it's really important. You need to structure your days. So you need to come up with a routine that you really like and that you can follow, whether that's getting up in the morning, putting your shoes and socks on, getting dressed, jumping in front of the computer, by 9 a.m. and staying there until 5, just treating it like a normal job. That works for some people, but you really need to find a routine and set a structure that you follow. Otherwise you'll find yourself sleeping in, not getting any work done, not being productive, and ultimately not making money. Okay, so one of the more challenging parts of being a freelancer is the fact that people may not take you seriously. And it's one that when I started that I had to deal with. And it's something that I think every freelancer, and potentially rightly so, needs to accept that people will question them. It's completely natural because freelancing is really different from working a salary job, especially if you are working from home. So it's really important to put boundaries in place with your friends and family. People need to know that you actually are at work, you actually are trying to earn a living here. You're not just hopefully sitting around watching movies all day. So it's really important to put those boundaries in place and help people understand that this is your full-time job. Well, I hope this has given you a rundown of what it's like to be a freelancer. I love freelancing. I wouldn't change it for anything. I'm not going to stop freelancing anytime soon, but at the end of the day, it's not right for everyone, so you need to figure out what would work for you. For some people, working a salary position is perfect. For others, freelancing is great. You've got to remember as well that not only are you doing the actual technical thing, so for me that's videography, but you're also running the business side of things, which some people don't enjoy doing, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I really hope this video has helped you decide whether you want to become a freelancer. Hopefully it's given you some ideas on what it's like, the challenges we face, and thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope to see you soon.